got some great news. Before we get into the video, I've been speaking to a company called The Beard Struggle. A brilliant company that do a lot with facial hair products. So for those who either have family members with the full hairy face or a low hairy face, they design and create natural beard facial hair products that stimulate growth and I'm almost sounding like a dog hair advert because this is my first time I've ever seen it. But I've got some products myself. I come in, so we'll have a look at them when I get here. But we spoke in the last video about hair, and facial hair and what it means to me, my beard. So it's only right that I should be taking care of it, and I get to share that with you. So I've got a promo code for them. So BearVeteran15 gets you 15% off from The Beard Struggle, which is great because it almost sounds like me. So The Beard Struggle, links in the description below. Yeah, check them out. Just have a look at their products. They're all natural. I'm hoping to get my first lot through as soon as possible, and when I do, we'll have a chat and we'll have a look, see what it's going. But check them out, and if you do want to have a look through it, don't forget to use the link below or use coupon code BearVeteran15 on checkout. Hey guys, and welcome to my first video that is not on the back end of a run. First one for my channel that within Bear Veteran, and I like to think that it's not a live chat because I still live in mine. So what I'm going to call them my midlife chats. What can I say really? It's been a bit of a whirlwind, and I'm just trying to get some videos out there and just splurge my thoughts out for the world to hear, and some people hopefully it'll resonate with, some people will just dismiss it, and that's absolutely fine. You know, we're all entitled to our own opinions, and they don't have to match with mine. In fact, I relish the opportunity of them not matching with mine. And none more so in my first video, which is going to be controversial as I'm a proud veteran and I believe in our military forces, and it's Armed Forces Day as well. 5 reasons not to join the military. Okay, I'm not even going to go checking no fancy titles or anything like that. None of that. We're going to go 5 reasons why you shouldn't join the military. We're going to go straight into it. Number 1. If you're a racist. It's current affairs right now. People are talking about it. It's in the news, so it stands to reason that this one be big and be one of the first ones that we talk about. Now, please don't think that this is an order. So if you're 3, 4, and 5, you can get away with it. None of that. They're equally as important as each other. They're equally important. The 5 reasons why you shouldn't join the military. Racist just happens to be number 1 because it's going to kick us off. I deplore and detest anyone who thinks that anyone else is in any way, shape or different to them purely based on their ethnicity or their race. In fact, in any other factor apart from intelligence, character, experiences, upbringings, life choices, all those different things. There are so many other things that we can characterize people by. Race is not one of them. It's deplorable. We are an enlightened, enlightened? We're meant to be in an enlightened time. But there are still some people who, through nurture or upbringing or however, for whatever reason it is, still believe and think in that manner. Guys, long story short, it's tantamount to bullying. And if one thing I know about most people who join the military is we cannot stand bullies. And therefore, the racist behaviour is tantamount to bullying. And we will take it upon ourselves sometimes to weed that out. It is not acceptable. I will not stand next to someone who believes in that thought process. Thankfully, I don't have to anymore. But I can tell you now, there are many like-minded individuals. In fact, I would say go as far as to say of 99.9 reoccurring individuals within the military who are like-minded and think that way. We will laugh, we will banter, and we will have a joke, often with racist tones. I've heard it. People say it, and it will be retorted and taken in the sense of humour of what it did. But don't forget, there has to be an intent to make someone feel unhuman. And we, in the UK military, across the board, do struggle with banter in that fine line. But if anyone believes for 1 second that there is racist intent behind it, or they'll be weeded out. We don't need to talk about the ins and outs of it, and there are absolutely official channels that they would go through, but I can tell you now, there are times when certain situations are just dealt with in-house. And if someone like that, with those thoughts and mentality, were to join the military and manage to get through unnoticed, and then let slip or start having those beliefs and that idiotic, sorry I'm Welsh and I haven't got my teeth in, idiotic ideology, they will be weeded out. And that's all I need to say on that. So next one, keeping it light, my next reason why you shouldn't join the army. Attitude. Leading off from racism, just general attitude. Now we're not talking sort of racist attitude, we're talking about how people perceive themselves. There are quite a lot of people at the moment who are cutting about with a rather large sense of entitlement. They think the world owes them all, that everything should be there. You will get nothing in the military off the back. You will get nothing in the military just because you're entitled to it. Not happening. You may think, oh well, I get given food and stuff in training, but don't forget, you've had to earn that right by stepping forward, putting your name on the dotted line, and getting through the selection process in order for that to happen. For you to be in that position, and it is a privilege to be in a position to start and begin and continue with your training. Because you are following the footsteps of incredibly brave men and women. And you've got a lot to live up to. I'm sure you will. However, if you have an attitude where you think that you're entitled, or you think that everything should be onto a plate, or indeed that you don't have to do everything, I know my rights. Well, we'll come on to that one afterwards. And guess again. Number 3. Almost at the wrong figures then. Number 3. Gambling. The problem with gambling is 2 things. 1, the obvious one. It opens yourself up to question. If you're a simple better, like, oh, I bet you a fiver he falls over, that's not a problem. That's not the issue. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the prolific gamblers with the gambling problems, the gambling addictions. Because there are so many things now, protective things in play, that try and help you with stopping, it becoming an addiction. There's some people, they move to the other side of the street. They go underground gambling with the loan sharks and all the other different type of people who have no boundaries and no limits. As you go up through the ranks in the military, there will be a call and a requirement for you to start taking on more sensitive information. And you will be privy to more information of that nature as you progress forward. You cannot afford to have anything over your head. Anything that someone can use against you in order to glean that information from you. You're almost, if you're thinking of joining the military, you're almost handicapping yourself before you've even started. But the second reason for gambling, from a personal experience, gamblers will gamble and they will take those risks, and that's fine. But sometimes those risks are taken in the wrong situation. And those risks, that measure of calculated risk will be overinflated because that gambling spirit might be too high. So please bear a thought, because you don't want to be stood next to someone who you don't want to be led across a battlefield by someone who you think is gambling with your life. Because you have to trust people, both left and right, the person in front of you and the person behind. So if you have gambling problems, get them sorted before you come in. Get the processes and get the strategies in place to help get you through. Number 4, drugs. Standard. Don't do it. Zero tolerance. There is no space for them. You're a remarkable human being. Your brain produces chemicals, your body produces chemicals, everything about you produces all these different toxins and biological reactions to create. You have everything about you to create these buzzes and these hypes. You don't need to add to that. Certainly not the man-made stuff. Everything that is made out there is put together. It might have started off natural. It might have been lots of different ingredients naturally, but you will not be able to guarantee what is going into your system because it's not medically regulated. So yes, you might have had a great batch from a supplier, from someone for a while, but that doesn't mean they have always had the best the stuff come through. And you really don't know. It doesn't have a farm stamp on our phones. Your little bag, your little plastic bag doesn't come with the nutritional value of how much per pill or how much per 100 mils. It doesn't happen. You don't know what's going in you. And the problem is, do what you like. Go over in the corner and sort yourself out. But the problem is, when you go in the army, you will have other people's lives. And it's one thing to say, yeah, I've got this guy and this guy. But if you've let these two down and they're both dead, that's an entire section out. If a section's out, that means a platoon's down. Once a platoon's down, you're then going on, and everything falls down because of one person. Not good enough. Not good enough. Once again, you you need to be able to trust the person left and right of you. You need to make sure that the person who put your plane together has done it effectively and they haven't had a brain fart in the middle of doing it because they're having a come down or they're having a flashback. You want to make sure that your boat is watertight. And you want to make sure that you've got the right ammunition going into your weapon system. You need to make sure that everyone around you is thinking straight. And there is plenty of time, but I'm telling you now, number 4, don't do drugs, or if you are, do not join the military. It's reckless. No, I don't care about your life. You make the decision you want to make. But don't bring the military into that point where they have to carry you out. Or worse still, they've got to carry other people out because of your decisions. Irresponsible, wrong, and again, will be weeded out. Number 5, you're gonna miss things. You're gonna miss out on things like birthdays, New Year's Eve, Christmas, Halloween. You're gonna miss out on weddings, births. Yeah, there's a very strong possibility that you'll miss out on deaths. And it will hurt. You'll miss out on funerals and those family occasions that are often there and designed and have developed into our coping mechanisms, our ability to deal with those things, to humanize our emotions sometimes. You're gonna miss out on those. The worst part about it is, military's a young man's game, young lady's game, a young person's game. Over time, you develop those abilities to move forward, use those grieving processes or those joyous occasions in order to develop and cement how you emotionally detach or attach yourself to various different things. You lose that to an extent sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And it's hard. And if you're someone who thinks that that's too much to bear, it's too much to miss out on a birthday. If your birthday lands on a Friday, wow. But if you're someone who genuinely, wholeheartedly needs that, requires that family orientated, that absoluteness, then be careful about what you're signing up to. Because you won't have the right to turn around and say, it's my birthday, or I want to get married. There are still legislations, I believe, and certainly my understanding, that you have to ask permission to get married from your commanding officer. Pretty sure that's still a thing. To go on holiday to certain destinations, you need to get that checked. It's hard. I've been on Easter breaks, spending time with my new young family and being told a phone call in the middle of it, which I wish I didn't pick up. You're off to Belize. Why the hell am I going to Belize? I mean, it's alright. I mean, could be worse. I could have ended up going down, I don't know, somewhere completely remote. Just be prepared and understand that it's not planned. We are definitely a reactionary force that plans for all eventuality and reacts to all outcomes and eventuality. And that will include you as well. I was saying about the young youth. I know sergeant majors that will turn around and when they're working out the Christmas leave, they've turned around and said, well, those of people with families can have Christmas off. Young families, their own children, they can have Christmas off. Whereas the young people would rather have, or the younger soldiers would rather have New Year's Eve to go out partying. But that's what some people think. And again, I'm sure there are many people who think differently. But your life will be dictated in that manner. So be prepared for that. It goes back to point number 2, I suppose, in having that attitude. But be aware of it. Don't join the military if you can't handle your life in that manner, to that extent being dictated to. So they're my 5 rules, or 5 reasons not to join the military. If you agree with them or don't agree with them, let me know. And, you know, there are plenty of other videos out there that talk about, you know, reasons not to join the military, I'm sure. And there will be crossover and similarity. But as a veteran myself, on Armed Forces Day, when we're glorifying and respecting and remembering everyone who's gone before us and still serving, and those who will come in the future, I thought it best to just temper it with telling you, don't do it if you're any of the above. 1, a racist. Off you go. Attitude. Not worth it. You'll only get upset yourself. 3, gambler. Not worth taking a risk. Nice. 4, drugs. Go get high somewhere else. 5, you're going to miss things. You will forego some of those human rights of individuality on occasion slightly. If you like the video, if you believe in what I say, or even if you don't, I welcome your arguments. I welcome your comments. Subscribe, give me a like, or whatever, or give me a dislike if you disagree with them. Hit the subscribe button, and that'd be amazing.